Yes. Now, you and von Mises put forward this criticism in the 20s. What reaction did you get from the socialists of the day? What reply did they make to that fundamental criticism?
They are unwilling to admit the factual argument.
Welcome to another reaction video where I react to the greatest of all time.
So my answer is, if the factual assumptions of socialism were correct, it would be a moral duty to aim at the just distribution. But you have to recognize you cannot do it. In fact, you can produce enough to maintain the present population of the world only because of a spontaneous process or mechanism which enables you to make use of infinitely more information than any central authority possesses.
Economists, political scientists, and politicians of all time, the ones that defend freedom and free markets and a free society. Hi, I'm Katarina, and today we are gonna react to Friedrich Hayek, this Austrian economist who is basically an icon.
Could I just interrupt at that point? You say socialism is impossible in a technical sense. Now, what exactly do you mean by that?
It proposes a solution which is not the solution. You cannot, well, it takes a long time, but it's my central problem. Socialism assumes that all the available knowledge can be used by a single central authority. It overlooks that the modern society, which I now prefer to call the extended order, which exceeds the perception of any individual mind, is based on the utilization of widely dispersed knowledge.
I made a video a little bit about this. Of course, I wasn't as eloquent and smart as this guy was. He died, but some people get to become immortal, and he's one of them. But yeah, he's talking about tested knowledge. We can talk all day about socialism, and usually when I do on YouTube, there's always someone on the comment section to say, oh, but that wasn't real socialism, or you know nothing about socialism, go read Marx. Or have you heard about Cuban health care? It's so good. It's not. So yeah, it's funny. Go down below and see. Probably there will be someone saying all those things. They don't even realize that they are repeating themselves. I've seen so many of them repeat themselves. But anyways, we can argue all day about Marx. But what I love about Hayek and what he's saying here is the central problem, the pragmatic thing that makes socialism not work is central planning doesn't work. You can't have one single authority or even a body of authorities making all the decisions and the choices about a given market. It's impossible. No one person or no one government agency has all the knowledge to make all the decisions. You have to let people be free so that based on price signals, they can make their own choices. Let's continue.
And once you are aware that we can achieve that great utilization of available resources only because we utilize the knowledge of millions of men, it becomes clear that the assumption of socialism that a central authority can command all this knowledge is just not correct.
So what you're doing is you're turning on its head the common point one often hears from the left, that because the problems of modern society are so difficult, that they require planning. You're saying because they're so complex, they make planning impossible.
Well, I think the nicest form to put it is to say that socialism protesting against the production for profit and not for use objects to what makes the extended society possible. Production for use is only possible in a society where we know all the facts. But to achieve the situation where we are all working for people whom we do not know and are being supported by the work of people we do not know is made possible because we produce for profit. Profit is a signal which tells us what we must do in order to serve people whom we do not know.
The demonization of profit is so dumb. Like he said, profit is a signal. If you're doing business, if you're in business and you're getting a profit, that means you're doing something right. That means your clients are happy with what you're doing. That means you're delivering something that consumers are willing to buy. And so you make a profit. And that's a signal that you should go on, or let's say I'm selling tomatoes and there is demand for tomatoes and I make a profit. That means I will continue to sell tomatoes. Otherwise, if people are not interested in tomatoes anymore, why would a government force me to keep selling tomatoes? That makes no sense. Profit is a good system. Stop demonizing it. It's not greedy to be paid for something useful that you're doing.
Yes. Now, you and von Mises put forward this criticism in the 20s. What reaction did you get from the socialists of the day? What reply did they make to that fundamental criticism?
They were unwilling to admit the factual argument. They preferred to withdraw on the fact. This is a difference of values on which science cannot decide. Once you accept the socialist values that we must be guided by a conception of just distribution, all the factual arguments are irrelevant. Well, of course, the factual arguments prove that the just distribution is impossible unless the distributor knows all the facts. So my answer is, if the factual assumptions of socialism were correct, it would be a moral duty to aim at the just distribution. But you have to recognize you cannot do it. In fact, you can produce enough to maintain the present population of the world only because of a spontaneous process or mechanism which enables you to make use of infinitely more information than any central authority possesses.
Yeah, the interviewer was talking about von Mises. It's my understanding that that Mises was Hayek's professor and they studied economics together. They've been telling us since the 1920s, socialism doesn't work. It's a broken system. It doesn't work. And a lot of people still refuse to hear. But now they will, because I made a video about that. Hi, my name is Caroline. If you did not know me, the left destroyed my country. So now I make videos out of spite. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the love. See you on the next one. Bye.